The video opens with a black screen. Aggressive, distorted guitar riffs and rapid drum beats slam in immediately. Glitchy, high-contrast footage of the end of the Raw segment plays Raquel Rodriguez looking shocked, officials leading her away, Adam Pearce pointing sternly towards the back. Voiceover, fast, angry, gritty. They did it. They actually did it. In a move of such staggering hypocrisy, such cowardly injustice, that it should make your blood boil. They fired the victim. They punished the hero. And they did it to protect their own fragile egos. Last night on Raw, the WWE Universe witnessed a crime. Not the crime of Raquel Rodriguez defending a fallen friend, but the crime committed by Adam Pearce and Triple H against decency, against fairness, against everything they claim this new era stands for. And if you have a single ounce of passion for what is right in this business, you will be sick watching this. Quick cuts Stephanie Vaquer's smug smirk after attacking Lyra Valkyria. Raquel's expression of pure fury. The exact moment of the tackle. Pearce's furious face at ringside. Voiceover. Let's be crystal clear. Let's establish the timeline of blatant bias. Stephanie Vaquer, the so-called luchadora, launched a cowardly, unprovoked assault on the women's world champion Lyra Valkyria after her match. She left Lyra laying. It was an act of terrorism. And what was the response from authority? From the omnipotent CEO Adam Pearce? From the visionary Triple H? A stern talking to? A fine? Suspension? Nothing. Absolute silence. Flash to a mock-up WWE rulebook with a giant stamp reading selectively enforced. Voiceover. Then, Raquel Rodriguez, a woman whose entire character is built on loyalty and protecting her friends, sees Lyra, her ally, broken on the ramp. She sees the attacker, Vaquer, gloating. And she reacts. She delivers a thunderous, rightful, visceral justice. One tackle, one moment of raw, unfiltered consequence for Vaquer's actions. And for that, for delivering the punishment that management was too weak to prescribe, Raquel Rodriguez is fired. The music cuts. Silence for 2 beats. Then, a low, seething whisper. Voiceover. Fired. While Stephanie Vaquer gets a free pass. Let that sink in. The aggressor goes unpunished. The enforcer of cosmic justice is terminated. Do you see it now? The pattern? The absolute gutlessness at the heart of this regime. Graphics slam onto screen the evidence of corruption. Voiceover. This isn't about rules. This is about a message. A message from Pearce and Triple H to the entire roster. We will not protect you. We will not defend you. But if you dare to take matters into your own hands when we fail, we will crush you. It's a message of control. Of favoritism. Who is Stephanie Vaquer connected to? What backstage politicking earned her this immunity? Tell me in the comments what or who is she protected by? Slow motion replay of the tackle from 3 angles. Close up on Pearce's decision. Voiceover. Look at Adam Pearce's face. That's not the face of a man making a tough call. That's the face of a bureaucrat following an order. That's the face of a man who knows he's setting fire to his own credibility to please his boss. Triple H sits in his office, playing chess with real lives, and he decided Raquel's passion was a threat. Her authenticity was a threat. So he made her an example. Question for you: is Adam Pearce a puppet or a coward? Or both? Sound off below. The tone shifts to one of furious analysis. Voiceover. Let's break down the catastrophic implications of this decision. 1. You have now told every superstar that if they are attacked, they must lay there and take it. Wait for due process that will never come. 2. You have created the most dangerous kind of superstar, one like Vaquer who knows she operates with impunity. And 3. You have extinguished one of your most popular, credible babyface forces for a temporary shock value. Archive footage: Raquel's debut, her NXT title win, her moments with Dakota Kai. It feels like a tribute. Voiceover. They fired a former women's tag team champion. A woman who main event NXT. A genuine powerhouse who the fans believe in. For what? To prove a point that didn't need proving? To distract from something else? What are they trying to hide? Write your theories now. The script becomes a direct address, intense and conspiratorial. Voiceover. This is a test. For us. The WWE Universe. They are watching to see if we will accept this. If we will just tweet #ThankYouRaquel and move on to the next segment. They are betting on our complacency. They are wrong. This should ignite a revolution in the comments, across social media. This video must be shared. It must be seen. We must make the name Raquel Rodriguez trend until the walls of Triple H's office shake. Until Adam Pearce can't look at his own reflection. Graphics #reinstate Raquel #powerless authority #want justice. Voiceover. Think of the precedent. Drew McIntyre has assaulted people for months. No firing. The bloodline manipulated officials for years. No firing. But one woman defends her friend against a proven attacker? Gone. This isn't management. This is a tyranny of whim. Quick question: can you name one other superstar who deserved to be fired more than Raquel did last night? I'll be reading those answers. The pace slows, becoming deadly serious. Voiceover. So, what now? Raquel is gone. Vaquer and her allies are stronger, laughing at the system. Pearce and HHH have shown their true colors. Where does the resistance come from? Does Lyra Valkyria now have to fight a war alone, knowing management won't have her back? Do other stars start forming vigilante squads because the authorities are corrupt? A final, powerful montage, Raquel's fist raised in defiance. A split screen of Pearce and Triple H looking stern. The fired graphic over Raquel's face. Voiceover: this is your wake-up call. This is the moment you decide what kind of fan you are. The kind who watches, or the kind who demands better. The kind who accepts blatant injustice, or the kind who raises their voice. Final, biggest question for the comments, and be honest, does this anger make you want to turn away from WWE, or does it make you want to tune in next week to see if justice is somehow served? This decision defines the audience. They fired Raquel Rodriguez for having a heart, for having a spine. They fired her for being what they are not: brave. The video doesn't truly end. The black screen holds for a beat longer, then erupts into a storm of glitch effects, news headlines, and furious social media posts. The aggressive soundtrack returns, more industrial, more urgent. Voiceover: immediate, cutting through the noise. You think that's the end of the story? You think this injustice just fades to black? No. The firing of Raquel Rodriguez isn't the finale. It's the first shot in a war for the soul of Monday Night Raw. And we are going to dissect the fallout, the lies, and the only possible path to redemption. Strap in. Graphics slam on screen. The aftermath. Silence is complicity. Voiceover: in the 24 hours since that despicable decision, what have we heard from the powers that be? Nothing. No official statement. No clarification on the zero-tolerance policy that seemingly only applies to babyfaces who fight back. Triple H hasn't tweeted. Pearce gave a canned, corporate line to a backstage reporter about maintaining order. Order? What order? The order where attackers run free. So I ask you, what does this silence tell us? Are they ashamed, or are they simply confident we'll forget? Cut to a split screen. On one side, a replay of Raquel's firing. On the other, archived footage: Seth Rollins attacking a referee, Logan Paul using brass knuckles, any number of past heel actions with minimal consequence. Voiceover: let's play a game. Let's call it selective enforcement. Exhibit A: Seth Rollins, a year ago, assaults an official with a steel chair. Punishment: a suspension he returned from as a bigger star. Exhibit B: any member of the bloodline manipulating the refs. Punishment: a smirk and a victory. Exhibit C: Raquel Rodriguez. One tackle, one act of instant karma. Punishment: termination. The math isn't just wrong, it's insulting. Quick poll: what's the most egregious act of violence that went unfired? Drop your answer below. Let's build a list of their hypocrisy. The footage shifts to fan reactions on social media. #reinstate Raquel trending, edited to feel like a growing movement. Voiceover: but listen to that sound. That's the sound of the WWE Universe roaring in defiance. The hashtags are exploding. The comments are molten with rage. This isn't a goodbye. This is a rallying cry. Management has underestimated the connection Raquel forged. They've underestimated us. They think this is a storyline. To us, it's a betrayal. And betrayals must be answered. Now the script turns to cold, strategic analysis. The music becomes a tense, synth-driven underscore. Voiceover: let's talk strategy. Why would Triple H, the booker, the visionary, make this call from a storyline perspective? Is it pure shock value? Is it to create a martyr to fuel a rebellion? Or is it something darker, a genuine misreading of his audience, a belief that we crave cold, corporate authority over cathartic justice? Theory time: is this a genius long-term story, or a monumental backstage blunder? Vote in the comments: genius or blunder. Cut to a mock-up of a WWE contract with a clause highlighted: morality clause, to be applied at management's sole discretion. Voiceover: then there's the legal side. The morality clause. The catch-all they use to justify this. But who defines morality? Pearce. After letting Vaquer walk? This isn't about morality. It's about sending a message: our authority is absolute and arbitrary. They've created a dictatorship on Raw, and every dictator creates resistance. Who could lead that resistance? Footage flashes of potential allies: a furious Lyra Valkyria, a returning Bianca Belair, a rebellious Becky Lynch. Voiceover: so who rises? Lyra Valkyria owes Raquel her safety. Will the champion become a rebel? Will she lay down her title in protest? Will the locker room, seeing this, finally unionize against a toxic management? Imagine it: a walkout, a sit-in, the women's division refusing to compete until justice is served. Who is the one superstar you believe will step up and challenge Pearce and HHH to their face? Name them now. The tone becomes darker, more conspiratorial. Voiceover: now, let's follow the money, the intrigue. Stephanie Vaquer. Who is she? A spectacular athlete, yes. But what is her real value to management? Is she a pawn in a bigger game? A favorite of a certain producer? A calculated gamble to attract a specific market? Her protection stinks of backstage politics. It reeks of an agenda. Spill the tea. What's the real reason Vaquer is untouchable? I've heard the rumors, have you? The video cuts to a stark, simple graphic, the redemption arc, how this must end. Voiceover, they have written themselves into a corner. And there are only two ways out. Path 1, they double down. They become the most hated authority figures since Vince McMahon in the Attitude Era. They suspend Lyra for protesting. They find anyone who says Raquel's name. They become pure, unadulterated villains. And frankly, that could be compelling television. But it requires bravery they haven't shown yet. Footage of iconic authority villain moments, Vince firing Stone Cold, the corporation's tyranny. Voiceover, Path 2, the mea culpa, the only acceptable ending. It starts with an apology, not from Pearce, from the top, from Triple H himself, on camera. It continues with the immediate reinstatement of Raquel Rodriguez, not next week, not at the PPV, tonight. And it culminates with a public punishment for Stephanie Vaquer, a suspension, a fine, a very public humiliation. True, balanced justice. Which path do you want? Villainous authority or full redemption? Type villain or redeem below. The final segment is a direct, fiery call to arms. Voiceover, this is bigger than Raquel now. This is about what we, as fans, will tolerate. We are not passive consumers. We are the final authority. Our voices, our reactions, our ratings, our merchandise choices, they are the ultimate power. We must weaponize that power. We must make #FirePearce trend. We must make #reinstate Raquel the only story in wrestling. Share this video. Flood every WWE post with demands for justice. Let them know the era of silent acceptance is over. A rapid-fire montage, Raquel's best moments, the furious tackle, Pearce's smug face, the fired graphic cracking like glass. Voiceover, they wanted a reaction? They got one. A firestorm. And fire spreads. It will reach Lyra's heart, filling it with a vengeful purpose. It will reach the locker room, stirring a revolution. And it will eventually burn down the door of the executive office. Final questions before you go to war in the comments. 1. What is the single most damaging thing the WWE Universe can do to protest this? 2. Will you boo Adam Pearce unmercilessly the next time he appears on screen? 3. And most importantly, do you believe Raquel Rodriguez will return with a vengeance? The first chapter of this story was an injustice. We will write the next one, and it will be called Reckoning. The screen glitches one final time, leaving only the words "the rumble is just beginning."